Hey guys, we are back here at Dark Tower Games FNM round 4. I'll get these life totals and names updated for you here.
You got somebody already?
Yeah, we got a new match going here. Aaron Fisher is going to be playing blue-white control. Kyle Scott, do you know what he is playing?
I do not.
We'll find that out for
It
you
looks like
guys
we'll find out for that one. Yeah,
real
it looks
quick
like they're
here.
already shuffling it up
And they're going to game 2.
with Aaron Fisher up a game or Kyle Scott up.
I'm actually not sure.
Aaron is up.
And both of these guys at 2-1 here, playing for most likely will be a spot in top 8 if they can draw in next round.
Yeah, so both in contention for top 8. Hoping that this match will get them there. Looks like Kyle's on a. Is that a mulligan or I just count wrong?
No, I believe this is a 7 from Kyle.
Okay. So we see a Thoughtseize on a basic swamp, so probably putting him something close to a mono black deck.
Well, we'll make a tentative guess at the mono black for right now. And you can see a Thoughtseize against Aaron Fisher's hand. We see Island Plains Mutavault, and then double Detention Sphere, Jace, Sphinx's Revelation. Aaron Fisher on the blue-white control deck, a very experienced player. I'd say maybe the best player in Bellingham. You know, you can make no. He is in contention for the best player in Bellingham.
Fair enough. Very good player nonetheless. We see a Mutavault come down from him. Actually, pretty solid keep from him. We see 2 removal spells, a Jace and a Sphinx of Revelation. Of course, he's not getting his early card advantage from like divinations or any of his early removal, but looks like he's not going to need it right at the moment because Kyle is playing kind of a slower deck.
We're just guessing on that mono black. We see a Goblet Shrine there. Not sure. This is not looking like mono black. Actually, that's a little bit of presumptuous of us. And we see it looks like a main deck duress, I believe. Oh no, this is game 2. So we see a duress taking out a Detention Sphere from the black-white deck.
So this is probably black-white mid-range.
Yeah. Removal spells, Blood Baron.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of these decks actually pop up in the last couple months. Some of which were playing like 4 mainboard Blood Baron, which just is so hateful against some decks.
I can see how that would make some mono white aggro decks a little bit sad.
Yeah. Just the amount of life gain against the aggressive decks too is just really punishing.
Yeah, and we see there an Atheros. Is that how you pronounce her name?
Athreos.
And we're gonna go stop this game for a second. Oh wait, no, that's a Hall of Fountain? Oh, okay, never mind. I thought Aaron only had 2 planes there. So playing a Jace and then minusing it right away, just trying to get some action here. Blue-white deck, getting spells.
Yeah, and this is definitely where the blue-white deck wants to be. It's already turn 4. Kyle's not really attacking his life total at all, so Aaron kind of on a free roll here for the first couple turns.
Right.
Being able to hit his land drops and play his spells how he wants to. Jace being able to go down and Factor Fiction, get him some card advantage rather than having to go up just to negate some of the damage coming through. So very good.
No hasty cards most likely coming out of Scott's deck that Jace could safely just get cards right away.
Definitely.
And that's one of the reasons why Aaron went down with that Jace right there is cards like Hero's Downfall, powerful, deal with the Planeswalkers, but got the 2 cards off of it.
Yeah, he drew 2 cards off of it, and then he also got a removal spell out of Kyle's hand, so definitely good for Aaron there.
Against those decks that can just kind of kill your Planeswalkers in one go, it's important to get, immediate value off of them. We see a Scryland to play Taffmarin. I believe the 2 cards he got out of that Jace was a Supreme Verdict and Fated Retribution.
I thought it was Banishing Light.
Was it Banishing Light? It could have been Banishing Light. It was a little bit hard to see.
So we see a 3 mana, and we're just going to removal spell the Athreos, make sure it's not going to become relevant.
Mhm.
Kind of save his mana by using his removal spell this turn.
And he had that Supreme Verdict in his hand there. I'm thinking he's just saying, I'm going to take out that Athreos, make my Supreme Verdict good later. I don't want to pay a whole bunch of life. And, he's drawing a lot of cards, using your cards proactively, dealing with threats on the board.
Definitely.
And here we see Elspeth come down for Aaron Fisher.
Elspeth kind of a house in this matchup.
Yeah.
Blocks most of the creatures. Doesn't block Blood Baron, but Aaron Fisher has other ways to deal with that card. Playing four main board Supreme Verdicts and a Fate of Retribution. But we do see another Hero's Downfall.
Take care of Elspeth. However, 3 soldier tokens on the battlefield, not insignificant for Aaron with that Mutavault. That's potentially 5 damage a turn there.
Yeah, definitely nothing to scoff at. 5 damage a turn from the control deck.
Especially if you can beat it for 5, keep open cards like Dissolve, Syncopate, possibly, land a couple of other threats there, more Mutavaults, Jaces. Just put Kyle kind of on the back foot where, even if he plays cards like Blood Baron that Aaron's going to have to deal with, he's not going to be able to attack his Planeswalkers. And that's exactly what Aaron's doing. Swinging in for 3 with the soldier tokens, playing a Jace, playing Divination, minusing the Jace. And I imagine he's going to take that Syncopate pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, just keep his board state as locked down as possible.
Well, if he with the land and the Azorius Charm, he may be thinking, hey, the Azorius Charm could possibly protect my Jace.
Azorius Charm could protect the Jace, but it doesn't protect against the Blood Baron, which is probably one of the better cards in this matchup. So
true, and he does take the Syncopate. He's just thinking, look, if I can counter the next threat by Kyle, he obviously does not have anything to affect the board at this point. That's going to pretty much wrap up this game.
Definitely, yeah.
And Kyle, as you see, just another Skyland, bottoming a card, he just doesn't have any threats at this point, and really hard to win the game against the blue-white control deck if you're not being proactive.
Or you see up to that Jace, get up to 3, so he can Factor Fiction next turn while still keeping it alive.
There's an Elixir of Immortality. Pretty sweet card in the blue-white control deck.
Definitely a sweet card. Actually, a win condition at some points. Thoughtseize here from Kyle. Not as good this late in the game, especially when he's so far behind on the board state.
And Aaron's just going to... So it was the Fated Retribution, I do believe.
Yes.
He's going to let that resolve. And Kyle's like, hey, I can't beat Syncopate. However, Aaron Fisher's going to be able to drop Kyle to 3 here, assuming he does not have a play, which I doubt he would. I'm pretty sure that Thoughtseize just came off the top here. Aaron Fisher just going to pop that Elixir. No need to sandbag that. Gain the 5 immediately. And being a pretty commanding control here. I'm not sure cards that Scott can draw to get him out of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Obsidat is definitely a good start. It'll be able to negate the damage that Aaron's doing with the soldiers, and it's also very hard to kill. However, Aaron actually does have Quicken Supreme Verdict in his hand.
Obsidat, not good enough.
Obsidat, probably not good enough, but definitely a good step toward getting out of this hole.
Mm-hmm. And this is the point where Aaron Fisher, you think he's going to get aggressive here and start just activating that Mutavault again and trying to finish out this game?
I think Aaron assumes that there's a removal spell in Kyle's hands.
Right, he's had that card forever.
Right, so he's probably thinking that he doesn't want to activate the Mutavault. But at this point, he is like infinite cards ahead of Kyle, and he might not mind getting his land destroyed here.
And that's what he's going to do. He's going to come in for 5, drop Kyle to 3 here, play more Scrylands, and Kyle's going to have to draw something pretty good here. And he does not, and there's the hand. Aaron Fisher taking down black-white mid-range with blue-white control in 2 games, but we saw the second game here. Why was Kyle not able to really, was it the card? Many threats that game. We just had
it was actually
Athreos, a bunch of lands, a lot of discard spells.
I really think it was just a threat density. I don't know if Kyle cited out some to cite in that amount of discard spells. We saw, I think, 3 Thoughtseize in his arrest, and some Hero's Downfall. So maybe he sacrifices threat density to be able to play those kind of cards, which are good against the control deck.
Yeah.
But I think you actually just need to have creature threats. Eventually, you do need to do damage, and you need to do it quick because they have Sphinx's Revelation that they could always just draw.
That's certainly a sideboarding mistake that I've been guilty of a number of times. Is I see all these good cards I want to put in, but you can't take out the cards that actually let you win the game,
Right.
and then just be stuck with like lands and Thoughtseizes and be like, well,
and and that's probably maybe part of the deck construction too, is making sure that in a single matchup you don't have like 70 cards that you want in your main board.
Right, 10
post-board.
cards to bring in, but only 5 want to go out. So then you're just like,
what do? You kind of take out a card that's good, but maybe it's not good always. So it's like it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, Thoughtseize is definitely good. Duress definitely good against a control deck, but you need to have those threats. You need to see Blood Barons off.
It's a funny card against the control deck because you, normally speaking, you don't want to 1-for-1 a control deck because they're going to cast Divinations, they're casting Jaces, they're casting Sphinx's Revelation. You don't want to 1-for-1 that deck, yet you kind of need to because you can't really let them cast those cards and just bury you in card advantage.
Yeah. Sometimes, actually, I've done it before, and it's really sweet, is if you just play an efficient threat, and then Thoughtseize. I've Thoughtseized actually their Divination before. They had Sphinx's Revelation, Supreme Verdict, Jason hand, but I see they're on like 3 lands
and you're just
no
like,
lands in hand. And I'm like, well, maybe, and that's the
kill him before Sphinx's Revelation comes down.
And that's actually all the tempo you need to win sometimes. It's just like getting rid of their Divination. He missed 2 land drops, and then hit land drops right after that. So if he had hit the Divination, he would actually draw lands,
Yeah, so Thoughtseize is an interesting card, really good for taking out a counter spell so you can land your threats.
Yes.
Really good for taking out key cards. In the late game, though, it looks pretty silly when they draw 6 cards. You're just like...
And even though you have in this matchup, the black-white deck has cards that are good against control, or good creatures like Obsidat and Blood Baron, I just think that since they don't actually have a card advantage engine, that it's hard for them to actually like close out a game.
Right, maybe just try to get I assume they're probably running the Underworld Connections.
Oh, right. Actually, I forgot about that card.
Trying to land that.
I forgot about Underworld.
No Detention Sphere, hopefully, maybe just try to get card advantage off that somehow. Out card advantage the Sphinx's Revelation deck if they can.
Definitely.
Maybe Erebos.
Erebos is also a very good card. Actually, pretty easy to turn on to in the deck if you just have Underworld Connections and Obsidat. You could be swinging for like 10 a turn, which is pretty sweet. But the deck's kind of weak to Azorius Charm. Deck's kind of weak to Supreme Verdict. Deck's kind of weak to Detention Sphere. So I think definitely favoring the blue-white deck there.
Yeah, and that's just, kind of, I think, the sort of classic mid-range versus control matchup. That mid-range deck just not fast enough to kill them before they get the card advantage online. Not powerful enough to compete with their Revelation in the late game. Just kind of, gotta have the right draw to get through. Get through the blue-white control card advantage.
Yeah. All right. So that was our round 4. Actually, our second game in our second match we brought you in round 4. We will be bringing you round 5, our final round of Swiss, and our final round that we'll be commentating here very shortly. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. We're coming to you from Dark Tower Games in Bellingham. So we'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back.